Hey everybody, I'm back. This is God Earth Goddess, back with another video. I know I haven't seen you guys in a very long time. Just taking a little break just to, be able to really take a breather so I can come back and really talk to you guys about some important topics. But the title of this video is called The Welfare Queens. The Welfare Queens had the keys to the kingdom. And the reason why I say that is because this world that we live in, it's like revealing itself every day. It's like we got all this AI and all this fake stuff. Like, they're showing you that everything is fake. They're showing you that everything is a simulation. Everything is fake AI. Everything. And they have it on these apps now where you can make AI versions of yourself and things like that. They're showing you that all of this is a lie. Even the media, the videos, the photographs, the things that we see on TV, it's all a lie. And like the system that they have set up in this world, in this Babylon state, which is what it actually is it's a lie. It's not real. And the constructs they have in this society that we're in are made to keep us stuck in this society. Like the construct of getting an education, starting out when you're 5 years old to 18 with education, going to college, getting more education, getting some kind of degree or some kind of trade or some kind of certification, something like that. And then going out into the world and getting a 9-to-5 in your early 20s, and then working this job forever until you are 70, 80 years old, and then retiring, and then living out whatever's left of your life retired, living on some kind of pension or retirement money or Social Security or whatever it may be. But they teach you that is the route you're supposed to go. They teach you that is what you're supposed to do, that is the American dream, that is what's proper and what's right. And when you don't have a job, or you do something different where you're not working, where you are spending your life doing what you actually like to do, or you don't follow that mold, then you are an outcast. You're too different. You're wrong. It's not following the mold. When you don't go to college, you're not educated enough, or you're not getting a proper education, or you're selling yourself short. And in reality, all those things, everything they're telling us, you have to see it in the reverse. If you reverse everything they taught us, then that's close to how we're supposed to be. No one's supposed to be going out having these jobs and these careers. No one is supposed to be getting an education. That's not how it's supposed to be. You were born with a divine mission and a divine plan. You were born with something greater than becoming a doctor, than becoming a lawyer, than becoming a teacher, than working those 9-to-5 jobs and getting a career and being educated. You're more than that, because you are literally God incarnated. But they want you to limit yourself to being educated. They want you to limit yourself to being career focused. They want you to limit yourself to having some kind of American dream. They want you to limit yourself to becoming a nurse, to being a nurse, working as a nurse, working as a doctor, working as a teacher. They want you to view that as success. They want you to view a high school diploma or a degree or a master's or a doctorate as success. They want you to put value on a lot of things that are not actually valuable, that have absolutely no value whatsoever, that do not align with your spiritual purpose that you had when you incarnated on earth. You were not meant to come here and become a lawyer. That wasn't your calling. Your calling was more greater than that. But people who are, let's just say, women who, back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, who, got to the point where they were adults and they received welfare and food stamps and all those programs, and they lived in government housing where their rent was paid, and they had these government checks from welfare where their bills were paid. and they were able to have food stamps and things like that where their groceries were paid and they didn't work. Those women are still seen as and were seen as being, you know, the scum of the earth, the bottom of society. Why aren't you working? Why aren't you being productive? Why aren't you going out into the world and working like the rest of us? But those women, I'm here to tell you, had the keys to the kingdom the whole time. They had the keys to the kingdom. A lot of those women who were on welfare chose not to work because they realized they didn't have to work. They could just live off the welfare. They could just live off the government. They could just live off the assistance, the aid, and not have to work in this system. I don't think they realized, and I don't think we realized how much of the keys to the kingdom they had. Now, did they put the key in the door and turn and use that time where they weren't working to follow their spiritual truths and their spiritual knowledge and their spiritual path? I don't know. Maybe some did, maybe some didn't, but they had the keys to the kingdom right there. They realized a way out of this system. They realized a loophole. They realized that if you have your children and you live in public housing or assisted housing and then you get welfare, you're set pretty much for life. They realized that. They found a loophole, and because these women were genius enough to find out and figure out a loophole of ways to get out of this slave bot worker system that we're in, they found the loophole. They found the keys to the kingdom. The society that we live in labeled them as being lazy and scum and bottom feeders, and, you know, you live off the government, you're using our quote-unquote tax dollars. But they were geniuses in their own right, and that's why the government in different states across the U.S. have started, you know, taking the welfare system and dismantling it and making it so that it doesn't last for years and years and years. You can't live off of it. The money that you get from welfare is less now because they want people to be more quote-unquote productive. They don't want you to be more productive. They want you to be a worker, and they cannot have large populations of women of color, which was most of those welfare queens, realizing their greatest potential and realizing that they don't have to be workers, because the most dangerous group right now are people who are brown skin and black skin, because we have access to more melanin, more access to the higher realms, and they can't have us sitting around all day not working. They need us working. They need us distracted. They need us out from 9 to 5 every day working. So if there's large populations of us are women that aren't working, that's a risk. That's a risk of us waking up in large numbers, because it's not enough of our women being distracted with work. So that's why they had this welfare reform back in the late 90s. It wasn't because it was a strain on tax dollars and they wanted us to be more productive. That's the cover story. Those welfare queens, those welfare women, I salute them. They had the keys to the system, to the kingdom. They had the loophole that was going to tell people, hey, you don't actually have to work. There's a way around all of this. And it just hit me, you know, like a ton of bricks. You know, it just hit me like a ton of bricks the other day, because I was thinking about that, about how my desire to work has dwindled to nothing, because I'm on this path of spiritual enlightenment, and I don't resonate with this system of working and this Babylon system that we're living in anymore, because I realize I'm God and I'm not meant to work. And the welfare queens, they realize that to a degree as well. Now, did they get it all the way? I'm not sure. Again, did they use the time wisely? I'm not sure. But they had the keys. They had that first step. They were on their first step to waking up. They had the keys to the kingdom, and that's why they had to shut that down. But this is just, you know, some of my thoughts on the welfare system and things like that. But, you know, if you can find a loophole to get out of working every day, take it. Some people, you know, have found a loophole with other programs that they're on. Take it. I'm eventually going to start working part-time and then eventually not work. And once I get all these things about different streams of income and things like that in order, I'm not going to be working either. But this is just my video for today. Let me know what you think in the comments, and you guys have a good day. All right. Bye-bye.